Having a break from relearning Z80 assembler for the summer gave me a bit of time to reflect on progress so far. After coding in Z80 for 4 months, the biggest issue was how painful debugging was the way I was doing it. In fact, after watching my earlier video on debugging, EM00K had commented as such. What I had been doing was paging through hex to find somewhere I wanted to stop the code, and toggling on a breakpoint in the Cspect debugger, then running the program until it hit the breakpoint, at which point I could examine the registers to try and find the issue I was having. What I needed was to improve the debugging by setting breakpoints in my source code, like you can with modern debuggers. This would cut down the paging up and down the code. Reading the Cspect documentation, there was a way of setting a breakpoint in the code using a dd01 instruction and calling Cspect with the command line attribute -brk. And reading the spectrumcomputing.co.uk forums, I could see that Bob Fossil had got this to work. There is also a way to exit the code which can be used to close down the emulator. I added the -brk attribute to the command line I was using to run Cspect from a Windows shortcut, then tried to add the dd01 instruction to my code. Looking at my ZX81 manual, I could see the dd instructions were mentioned as prefixing ix instructions. The exact instruction for dd01 though wasn't listed. And searching on the web for the instruction, I couldn't find a dd01 instruction. So instead of using an instruction, I used db commands to include the instruction. dd translated to decimal 221, and I added this code to the top of my menu loop. I ran the makefile to add the modified code to my Cspect image. Going into Cspect using the modified command line, the debugger started in debug mode. Pressing F1 continued the code, and I was able to browse to and run my Caverns program. Cspect ran the program, then dropped into the debugger at the breakpoint from the code. I could see the break instruction just above where it had halted. So all is good, and now I could debug the code by examining the registers, etc. F1 continued running the program if I wished to continue further into the program. So hopefully when I pick up working on the Caverns program later on this year, this will help in debugging. And I hope this is of help to you in your coding with Cspect.